Corporate America, we are f***ing tired.
It just seems like there's so much chaos and so much going on in the world.
Being around people it's not the same any longer.
This country is just one big ass experiment.
How is this even possible?
This is beyond a political issue. It has become a humanitarian and a health issue.
We just quietly adjusted to less joy, less hope, less expectation from life itself.
People are quietly giving up right now, and nobody's really talking about it. But maybe it's time that...
Talks about the phase after burnout. And I think that's where most of us are right now. It's not that people are mad anymore. It's that people are just empty. You know, we still wake up, we go to work, we still answer text, we still pay bills, we still laugh at memes sometimes, but something underneath all of that is just gone. And it's not the depression in the way that people think. It's more like realizing this is it. This loop, this pace, this constant feeling like you're behind, even when you're doing everything you were told to do. We just quietly adjusted to less joy, less hope, less expectation from life itself. And that's the part that scares me the most, you know? Because when people are angry, they fight. When people are sad, they ask for help. But when people just go numb, they just survive. They stop dreaming big. They stop imagining different. They stop believing things can actually change. Not because they don't care, but because caring started to hurt too much. So if you've been feeling disconnected lately, you know, unmotivated in a way that sleep doesn't fix, you know, tired even on your days off, there's nothing wrong with you. This is what happens when the pressure never lets up and the expectations never come down. This isn't a call to riot. It's not some motivational bullshit either. You know, it's just me saying this out loud so you know that you're not alone in it. A lot of us are still standing, but, you know, we're just standing quietly right now.
Anybody else not wanting to go out to the stores any longer? Being around people it's not the same any longer. It's like your energy gets sucked in somehow. Or if you're in a group of, let's say you're in a huge, I don't know, like crowds of people while you're shopping, you feel like this disconnection that you need to get out of that store. Yeah, that happened to me today. I was so uncomfortable and I just couldn't vibe with the people around me that I just was like, nope, I gotta go. That's been happening, but today happened more than ever, you guys. I don't know what is it about today.
Isn't it utterly wild that in some places it's illegal to live in your vehicle or to be homeless? It's as if the lawmakers are saying, because you can't play the game that we want you to play, or you don't have the mental capacity to play the game that we want you to play to make this whole merry-go-round go around, your existence is now illegal. How is this even possible?
Corporate America, we are f***ing tired. We are tired of hitting the ground running when we have been sprinting the entire time. We are tired of being treated like children when we are professional adults who maybe are in this because we actually wanted to learn something and grow. We are tired of the lie of work-life balance, and if you go above and beyond, there will be a reward at the end. Stop gaslighting us. And finally, we are tired of being minimized down to a number and how you rate us and even how you identify us as employees. We are tired.
I'm seriously starting to think this country is just one big ass experiment that can do whatever the they want to us as long as they convince us that we're free.
Society needs to collapse, and here's why. Every waking hour of all of our existences, we are constantly tired and grumpy due to the never-ending exploitation of late-stage capitalism. This is beyond a political issue. It has become a humanitarian and a health issue. Even the quote-unquote rich and successful people are miserable. They're unhappy, they're lonely, they're depressed. Nobody is thriving in this system. Everybody is failing in one way or another. It's just impossible to be happy. Because we are waking up and going to bed burnt out and exhausted, our sense of community and our sense of social life have been completely degraded and replaced with widespread loneliness, lovelessness, and hyper-individualism. Humans are social creatures, and living in this technology and AI-induced state of captivity is incredibly unnatural and unhealthy. Everybody is affected, and if we don't make changes now, it's only going to continue to get worse.
Is it just me, or does life feel boring anymore? Like, I really can't explain it, but everything just feels empty. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels like you wake up, you do the same stuff for the most part. And
hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and pre-Zentai Stories. Now, white America is just learning that they were brainwashed. And majority of the times that they were promised something good, because understand, they had systems. They had systems that never exposed them. They had systems that protected them from all these things. The fallacy that America was great. The fallacy, the dream that America was great. And that's why we have this slang or this slogan, Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again is based on a dream or something or a fallacy that never happened. It is something that believed. It is believed. It's not something that America was great. Not everyone will come out and say America was great. Only for the few privileged people could say that make America great again. In short, bring back the privileges that we had again. So we are seeing white Americans, they are waking up from being brainwashed. They're learning that the system really brainwashed them. And why do I say that white people were brainwashed by the system? Hold on, let me explain to you something. So this is what is happening. We have black history on this side and we have white history on this side. Understand, the reality of the United States is not the same between black Americans and white Americans. I'm sorry, some people will say that I'm divisive with me saying white America and me saying black American. Still, hold on. I'm going to be explaining, because we have this fallacy that America is for everyone. No, America was never for everyone. America was for white rich people who are protected by the system. And now when we are seeing the reality coming out in terms of race relations and everything, we are getting to see that white people are waking up to the truth. And the truth is, they are waking up to a truth that they were being brainwashed. Majority of things that were being showed to them, it was a performance. It was a performance because get to look at there's this part of theory that I always wanted to explain to you. There is this part of history that explains how white people were duped. They were duped by the elites, made them fail greater than black people. In short, they were given privileges that never belonged to black folks. Yes, I've remembered. It's called the Bacon's Rebellion. The Bacon's Rebellion predates back to the late 18th century, right? When we had poor white folks and black folks working together, working in solidarity. But the elites came and decided that no, we are going to sell these people a lie. And what lie are we going to sell these folks? We are going to sell them a lie that they are greater than black people. Brothers and sisters, I don't want to break down everything. I don't want to preempt everything. I want to switch this video because you are going to envision white people having a realization. They are sounding the alarm that they were being brainwashed. So brothers and sisters, stay tuned as you watch the video, and I'll be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, you know, I'm your host and pre-Zentai Stories. So stay tuned as you watch the video. I'll be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this.
and when you do things that are supposed to be fun, it doesn't hit the same way like it used to. Even TV shows and stuff doesn't hit the same way. I know I can't be the only one out there feeling like this, because everything just feels weird anymore. It does. Like, I can't really explain it. Like, it feels like people in general are fake for the most part now.
The new American dream is to leave America. That's the new American dream. You know, I've been following people on TikTok who have moved to other countries, and this one guy I follow, he moved to Thailand 6 years ago, and he said the number one question he used to always get from his friends was, why are you leaving America? And now, all he hears from his friends when they write him or call him is, how can I leave America?
I don't like what's happening with our kids, and I think this is a really shitty time for them to be growing up or being on the cusp of adulthood. I have a senior in high school who is applying to college. He's received 2 acceptances so far, and he is not excited. There is no excitement there about what the future holds. Will AI take my job? What can I major in that is safe? I will never be able to buy a house, or I'm going to be 40 by the time I can afford my first home. They are entering the world with a very different mindset than in the late 90s, early 2000s, us as parents. I mean, I got that college acceptance letter and it was like, oh my God, I couldn't wait to go. There was no way my future wasn't bright. Like the whole world was in front of me. And I feel so bad for these kids because does not seem like that. The messaging is not the same. I think rightfully so. I want to hear from you guys, from other parents who are in the same boat as me. Like, what is the conversation that we have, without being Pollyanna, positive, as my son will say, because we'll talk and he's like, you're naively positive. Maybe I am. I just want to hype him up about the future. But I'm scared of shit too, guys. Like, what the hell?
So I don't really want to do this anymore. I get it now. I don't want to do all of this anymore. You know what I want? I want to grow my own food. I don't need a big apartment. I'll take an apartment that's 1,000 square feet. I want to go somewhere where I'm surrounded by women like me, or good people like me that just want to live their lives and have excitement and go on adventures. You know what I've always wanted to do? I will pick furniture up off the side of the road and paint it and sand it and finish it and put really pretty knobs and different jewelry thingies on it and just I've always wanted to do that. So I live in my space with other great people around me. I get up. I have coffee every morning. I have fresh food. I either put my shoes on or I don't. And then I go out over here and I paint and I sand and I make stuff when I want them on my own terms. And why can't I? Did you see the video of the girl who reads a paragraph from her mother's diary? Her mother is deceased. And it's talking about how she's stuck and she wants to do all these things and she doesn't. I don't know how the hell I do it. But if I think hard enough on it, I can do it. So if you know how to get me to Portugal so I can visit at a super low expense, let me know. I'm not kidding. I'll go with you. I'll travel with you. I don't care. I want to visit places I'm considering living. And I think right now that's at the top of the list.
All right, so look, people are quietly giving up right now and nobody's really talking about it. Well, not really. Sure, everybody's talking about how bad things are, the rent, the bills, the jobs, the stress. But nobody's really talking about what's going on the inside. We're living in an epidemic of loneliness, and that was not by accident. It was by design. This society raised us inside of a narcissistic system that trained us to be hyper-individualistic. It told us that standing alone was strength, that love was weakness, that asking for help meant failure. We were programmed to compete instead of connect, to win instead of heal, to stand out instead of stand together. And over time, it worked. We became a nation of people that don't know how to ask for help, who don't know how to trust, who don't even know how to need each other anymore. Before everything started collapsing, we were already disconnected. Everybody chasing success. Everybody just trying to make it. Everybody just trying to get rich or die trying. We stepped over each other. We used each other, pretended not to see each other. And now, as the world falls apart, we are still stuck in that same mindset, trying to survive alone. There are mothers right now staring at their empty refrigerators, trying to figure out how they are going to feed their children and keep the lights on at the same time. Skipping meals so the kids can eat, working long hours, hiding their tears because they can't afford to fall apart. They're exhausted, but they keep going because that's what mothers do. And there are fathers, men who were taught that their worth begins and ends with their ability to provide. Men are out here working impossible hours, doing everything that they said was the right thing to do, and still coming up short. still failing to provide, still feeling like a failure in their own house. And the men are starting to break down quietly, hurting in silence because this world never gave them permission to feel. And both of them, the mothers and the fathers, are carrying more weight than any one person should have to carry alone. Both are fighting invisible battles just to keep a resemblance of normal alive. And the young people see through it. They see how this world feeds on lies, how it glorifies exhaustion and calls it ambition. And they're checking out early. They're numb, disconnected, because they can already see the truth that this system has no future for them. And then the elders, the ones who gave everything to this machine, they're tired too, watching everything that they built crumble. The pensions, gone. The savings, gone. The health is not far behind. That's fading too. And for what? So when I say people are quietly giving up, literally, there are parents giving up. There are children giving up. There are elders giving up. There are people who feel trapped right now, who feel unseen, who feel like there's no way out. And that's what this system has done. It has stripped the people of connection, of purpose, of meaning. And the only way to make it out is through each other. Not the governments, not corporations, not religions, but each other. Through community, through love, through somebody deciding to still give a because sometimes that's all it takes. Just one person deciding to care again. You see, we were trained to think individualistically. The me over the we. The self above all else. And ironically, that's the one thing that we can use to heal this situation. Because when you look at this through an esoteric lens, it's not all wrong. It's just inverted. At a lower vibration, that mindset becomes narcissism. It becomes selfishness. But when you raise the vibration, you start to see it differently. You start to see that everything is I. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you love or hate is I. It's the same source consciousness playing all the roles and all the parts. And that's how we flip it. That's how we alchemize this sickness. Because the real sickness isn't just the depression. It's the disconnection. And the real cure isn't medication or therapy. It's reconnection with each other, with nature, with the source. People are quietly giving up right now, and nobody's really talking about it. But maybe it's time that we should.
I think that we are in a very interesting point in time where it just seems like there's so much chaos and so much going on in the world. But I think the important thing is that people are starting to wake up and they're starting to come together to realize that this system was not built for our greater good. And I think that as we start to wake up and realize that, the more chaos is going to come because they can't have people waking up and thinking on their own. They want to keep people scared, keep them in control. So when we start to come together and when we start to realize these things are happening, it's so important to keep supporting each other, to keep helping each other grow, and to stay positive and to not fall into their trap of fear. I hope you have a blessed, beautiful day, and just take a second for yourself to realize that this world is a very beautiful place and you get to create every single second of your life. So make it worth living and go out and just make the world a better place for you and for everyone else around you.
It's coming. One of two things is going to happen in America real soon.
Health insurance just went from $1,150 a month for my wife and 18-month-old son and myself to $2,100 a month for my small family.
I seriously cannot believe how expensive everything is right now, and the quality is getting pretty bad.
Some of my friends that graduated last year still have a job, so that means the people that are graduating this year are even more screwed. What is going on?
25 years. I worked for the company for 25 years, and they let me go at the age of 60. 60, nobody wants to hire anybody when they're 60.
We got to put this argument to bed once and for all. If a boomer was 30 years old in 1990 versus a 30-year-old millennial in 2025, did the boomer actually have it easier?
We are experiencing the health insurance crisis as a family. $1,000 a month for a single income family.
People have no money, and the banks have no money. This is about to get really scary.
If you look at McDonald's, for example, they made over $8 billion in profits last year. They could literally pay every worker up to 70 grand a year, and their CEO would still be a multi-millionaire.
Like 6 figures now in this economy is like
I don't know, 30 grand back then or less.
People are losing hope when they feel like there's no point.
Have not gotten. I'm so confused. I do not understand it.
Life in America feels worse for millions of people in 2025 for several different reasons. First of all, daily life just feels exhausting. People are working endlessly to make ends meet, and they're not even making ends meet. Households have to have 2 incomes to be able to pay the bills.
I seriously cannot believe how expensive everything is right now, and the quality is getting pretty bad. Everything that I bought for Christmas this year is more expensive than it was last year. I mean, I started to realize when my home insurance and my car insurance and now my healthcare has gone up, but now it's also my pasta that I eat twice a week and my coffee and my yogurt and my favorite bread. There's seriously nothing I can think of that has not gone up in price. My favorite breakfast place that I went to this morning with my family, that's gone up 20% this year. And I went to get bagels earlier in the week, they're up. I feel like we are getting hit at every level. What have you noticed has gone up that like you can't live without, like you use every day? Because I feel like things are just getting more and more expensive, and some of it is because of the tariffs and some of it is because of corporate greed. But they're squeezing us at every level.
Okay, I need to know if we're alone in this. I am pretty desperate for some feedback. We are experiencing the health insurance crisis as a family. So as everybody knows, the open enrollment just ended, or is ending like today or something. Our insurance for a small family of 3, a very low insurance plan as well, at marketplace pricing, qualifying for a subsidy is going from, it was $170 a month, which I'm very thankful that was so low. I'm aware of that was low. It is jumping to $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month for a single income family. We are self-employed. My husband owns his own business. And I, for the most part, stay at home with my son because childcare in Charleston, South Carolina is outrageous. And our insurance is going to be $1,000 a month. And we have another baby on the way. So I don't even want to know what it's going to be once we add him to the insurance plan. So I need to know, like, are we just doing this? Like, lots of tears have been shed. This is marketplace pricing, qualifying for a subsidy, $1,000 a month. Are we just like saying okay and paying? Like we just signed off on it last night because baby's due in January, so like I need insurance. But I'm literally sick to my stomach. We've cried. I've cried. I'm so sorry for all the families that are going through this as well. And I know that there are bigger issues in the world. I do know that. But like I don't even know. I don't know.
You know, guys, I keep coming back to this same idea because it's the truth. If a business can't afford to pay its workers a livable wage, then it shouldn't be in business at all. Because what that really means is the only way that that company survives is by exploiting people. And if you're doing well while your employees are struggling just to eat, that's not success. That's extraction. People love to say, well, that's just how capitalism works. You know, like that's supposed to excuse it. But no, that's how unchecked greed works. The whole foundation of a business should be sustainability for everyone involved, not just the people at the top. If you look at McDonald's, for example, they made over $8 billion in profits last year. They could literally pay every worker up to 70 grand a year, and their CEO would still be a multi-millionaire. Same with Amazon. They make hundreds of billions in revenue and could pay every U.S. employee a real livable wage without Jeff Bezos ever needing to worry about money again. So it's not that they can't do it, it's that they won't. And when someone brings that up, the response is always from people making $40,000 a year saying, well, flipping burgers doesn't deserve 70 grand. But think about how messed up that is. Because the problem isn't that fast food workers would make too much then. The problem it would still be that so many other jobs pay too little. Teachers, nurses, delivery drivers, service workers, all of them hold society together, and some of them still can't afford rent or food. That's not some natural economic law. That's a choice that people in power made. We have been conditioned for decades to believe that low-skilled jobs don't deserve a livable income. But who decided that? Because the second those workers don't show up, everything stops. You notice real quick how essential they are when your food doesn't get cooked, your packages don't get delivered, or your kids, their kids' school can't find staff. The truth is, if a company can't afford to pay its people enough to survive, it's not a viable business. It's just a parasite. And we as taxpayers end up covering the difference through government aid while executives brag about record profits to our faces. And see, that's the part nobody wants to admit. Our system literally rewards exploitation. And I'm not anti-business, I'm anti-greed. I'm anti the idea that the CEO deserves $200 million while the people keeping the lights on can't even afford groceries or rent. Because a fair wage doesn't just feed families, it strengthens communities, it lowers crime, and boosts the entire economy. So yeah, if your business model depends on people being broke, then maybe your business doesn't deserve to exist. Because profit shouldn't come from suffering, and decency shouldn't be up for debate.
Health insurance just went from $1,150 a month for my wife and 18-month-old son and myself to $2,100 a month for my small family. That is an extra $1,000 a month, $600 a week I have to pay. That's covering nothing. After that, it's 50% ER visits, co-pays, pharmaceutical cost. This is absolute insanity, and the system is beyond repair. And there is a bill that Senator Bernie Sanders has right there for us called Universal Health Care. It's a 4-year plan which will slowly lower the age of Medicare until everyone's covered. Our tax dollars can fund a better system than we have now. You think the government doesn't work efficiently? Well, let me tell you something. Private insurance companies making billions of dollars, they don't have our best interest. The healthy people are going to decide not to get health insurance. They're going to say, well, I'll just put that 30 grand into the stock market and hope I don't slip on ice, which means the people that need the health care are going to max out the system, which is going to make it more expensive until it eventually doesn't work for anybody.
So I just clicked on the news and it literally told me the class of 2026 is projected to have the hardest job market of like almost all time, or excuse me, the last 5 years. I'm a little slow. Like apparently layoffs are increasing and companies are replacing entry roles with AI. Dude, like some of my friends that graduated last year still don't have a job. So that means the people that are graduating this year are even more screwed. What is going on? I thought like AI is low-key creating more jobs or more opportunities in different sectors. I don't know. But regardless, I hope something changes soon because this is not really ideal for are people my age, 22 years old, coming fresh out of college. Like what is someone supposed to do when they don't have a job out of college? You go to college to get a job, right? Like
25 years. I worked for the company for 25 years and they let me go at the age of 60. 60, nobody wants to hire anybody when they're 60, even if they have experience, and especially if they're making some money, some decent money. They're not going to pay you what you're worth. So I got laid off at 60. We don't quite have enough to retire. My partner and I want to retire. We want to move down to South Carolina to a 55 and over community, and we want to travel. And we don't have enough saved. I got caught in between that pension period and the 401k period. So my pension's very little because they stopped it. And then the 401k is not as much as it should be because it started a little later. So we didn't have enough time to save for it. So I'm a little short money.
Millions and millions and millions of people are behind on their house payments. That's right. Across the country, millions and millions of people are not making their house payment. And what do you think that does to banks? If banks loan out money and they don't get it back, what are banks supposed to do? Because there are now dozens of banks that are in real trouble. Because here they've loaned out lots of money. That's how they make money. But you don't make any money if people stop paying you back. And increasingly, that's what's happening across the country. Banks are not getting their money back. Banks are struggling to stay liquid. Millions and millions of Americans, and the number is increasing each month, are simply not making their house payments. So what do we do now? People have no money, and the banks have no money. This is about to get really scary. Really scary.
So my only question to those who own apartments is, what is the end goal? What is the end goal? At the trajectory that we're going right now, nobody could afford to live in these apartments. People are struggling to get by. But at this rate, in 5-10 years from now, people are really just not going to be able to live in your apartments, and you're going to have no tenants, or you're going to have 5 people to 1 unit. Like, what is the end game? What is the end game? What are you aiming for? In 5-10 years, no one's going to be able to afford to rent there. You're going to have a couple of tenants, and I don't know where everybody else is going to be. But just answer that question. What is the end game?
Do you guys remember growing up, like in the early 2000s or late 90s, when your parents would be like, oh, that's a 6-figure job, or they make 6 figures? Like 6 figures was like mind-blowing money back then. And now like $100,000, you're barely scraping by, and you still have to like be extremely careful how you spend your money, or else you're gonna be pinching pennies out at the end of the month. Like 6 figures now in this economy is like, I don't know, 30 grand back then or less. Like 6 figures, you could still probably get on like Medicaid and EBT or something like that in some places. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's coming. One of two things is going to happen in America real soon. People are going to outflux out of the country and escape as soon as they possibly can, or there's going to be some sort of civil uprising. Why, you may ask? Why would such a thing happen? Well, I'm sure you already know this as a fellow lower to middle class citizen of the country, and even probably an upper class citizen, because truly the problem in America is corporations and politicians and the IRS and these people who tax us up the wazoo. But we are going to reach a point in America soon, it won't be long, where people no longer can afford basic necessities. We've already reached this point, man, where people are losing hope when they feel like there's no point. You look at the younger generation of kids out here, man, who are going to work, making $12 an hour to roll silverware or do dishes, man. They can't get ahead in life. They can't even afford an apartment at the wages they're getting paid. Yeah, guess what goes up year after year after year is prices. Gas gets more expensive. Food gets more expensive. Fun gets more expensive. I mean, dude, we're people. We can't just live, work, and die. But that's what people feel like now. People feel like they'll never be able to buy a home. And because of this, what's the point of working? People feel like they can't afford to have families. So what's going to happen? Population's going to collapse. And this is going to lead to one of two places, man. People are going to leave these conditions because what's the point? Or they're going to say, you know what, man? I'm a rat and I'm cornered. And if you're going to kill me, I'm going to bite your ankle on the way out. And if you get enough rats in that corner, man, they can take down the person that's trying to kill them.
We got to put this argument to bed once and for all. If a boomer was 30 years old in 1990 versus a 30-year-old millennial in 2025, did the boomer actually have it easier? In 1990, the median household income was $30,000. A mortgage and utilities was about $1,100 a month. Groceries for a family of 4 on a budget was $350. Health insurance $150, car $150, insurance $40, gas $60. Student loans, I'm going to put at 0 because if they're 30 in 1990, they went to school in the mid-70s. School was a couple $1,000s. Most did not take out student loans, and I think that's fair to have that at 0. And daycare, again, most people in 1990 did not have daycare for 2 children, but those who did, let's say around $400 to be fair. Total monthly expenses, $2,250. $30,000 after taxes monthly is only $2,050. So a boomer at 30 years old raising a family was about $200 short. So it was a struggle, kind of paycheck to paycheck. But now if we look at a 30-year-old in 2025, mortgage and utilities about $3,000, groceries $1,000, family of 4, health insurance $600, used car $400, insurance $150, gas $150, student loan $450, and the big one, daycare $2,200 a month for 2 children, plus a $200 cell phone, which the 1990 boomer didn't have. We're looking at $8,150 take-home pay on the 85K after.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and presenter Eugene Docu-Stories. It is a nice time. It is a good time that we thank God. God has granted unto us the gift of life, the gift of everything, and we are able to just appreciate everything that is happening. But I'm going to be talking about something that I began talking about. And remember, I told you, and I'm not taking back my words, I told you that white Americans were being brainwashed. And right now, they are waking up to a reality that all of their lives has always been a brainwash. See, when somebody makes it easier for you to get something, this includes jobs, this includes everything. I don't think the same with black people. There was a time when if you could see a black person on a post, understand that he had to work 3 times harder than a mediocre white person who also secured the same spot. So the system protected white folks. It never exposed them to the harsh realities that black people went through, having to deal with systemic issues that are happening in the United States. I mean, it was never the same with white folks. Whenever they wanted it, they get it. And that's why you are seeing white people coming out complaining about how the cost of living has tremendously increased. Now you understand, because this is a shock to them. This is a shock to them because this is not something that they were used to. They were insulated. They were insulated. And they had a couple of privileges. They had a couple of advantages, that they had things that black folks didn't have. So if you get to understand that part of history, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense now that also white people, they are waking up, realizing that, oh, we were brainwashed. And so that's how it's so sad. That's how it's so bad. But that's what's really happening, right? That's what's really happening. And it's crazy that we are having this revelation. We are having white people coming out and talking about all these things. Now it's starting to make sense. From the angle that we are seeing all these things happening, it's now starting to make sense that white folks were lied to. They were lied to. So that's what's up. That's what's happening. And they are having their own reality. They are having their own wake-up call, because when the Bacchus Rebellion happened in the 18th century, it taught them to hate on black people. It taught them that blacks will be below you, and you can do to them anything that you wanted to do. So that's how it happened. That's how it became. So please, let me know what you all think about this. Right. As you know, I'm your host and pre-Zenta Stories. And for those watching for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. For those always coming back, watching our video, subscribing, liking, man, I'm really, really grateful for all the support, for everything that you do. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you'll think about this video. Until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.